The basket star is related to the brittle star. Hi everyone! Happy fall and welcome to Season 5. My name is Brandon, I'm a marine biologist and an artist, and welcome to Nature Meets Paper, the place where we go on an adventure to discover the world of marine biology. I love sharing my experiences with aquatic animals with you. It's my goal to raise awareness of our beautiful bodies of water and the creatures that live in them through science, stories, and art. If you're new to this channel, welcome! Stick around to the very end to hear about this month's charity. Today we're going to be discovering the basket star. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Gorgonocephalus eucnemus are also known as basket stars and are related to brittle stars. The name comes from Greek monsters called gorgons. Gorgons are the snake-headed monsters that turn people into stone. The most popular gorgon is Medusa. The basket star has arms that look like hair of Medusa. Where can basket stars be found? They're a northern hemisphere animal that can be found from Laguna Beach, California, up to the Aleutian Islands, down to Japan, into the Bering Sea, the Chukchi Sea, parts of the Canadian Arctic, and down into the Atlantic Ocean as far as Massachusetts. There are no other similar animals that look like this. If you see one, it is a basket star. So, now we know basket stars prefer cold water habitats around subarctic and Arctic waters. What kind of habitat do they prefer? Basket stars are found on rocky or muddy sediment with high current flow. They can be found from 10 to 2,000 meters, but prefer between 15 and 150 meters in depth. They closely associate with the sea fans and sea pens. Basket stars arrange themselves perpendicular to the current, so it washes over their arms. So, what do these animals look like? It is related to the sea star and has a central body, known as a disc, with 5 segments. The body is covered in a loose skin that can be dark brown with arms that are tan, orange, pink, or white. The body is always darker in color than the arms. Each arm segment is then split several times repeatedly dichotomously with claw hooks at the end of each arm. If you are unfamiliar with the term dichotomously, it means broken into 2 distinct segments. Now that is a large word that I don't use very often. The arms are branched many times, creating a ray of thin arms that increase the surface area of the sea star. They can grow up to ½ meter in diameter. They would be larger if they were stretched out tip to tip. They are called basket stars because they look like baskets waiting to catch their prey. Therefore, they wait perpendicularly to the current and let their food come to them. They can't move very fast, and typically don't move much once they have found a suitable habitat. Once they catch prey, they can move it to their mouth. Their mouth is in the central disc. They cover their prey in a thin coat of mucus to immobilize them. It would be a disaster to lose your food before you got to eat it. This brings us to our next segment of the adventure. What do basket stars eat, and how are they doing? They feed on zooplankton, copepods, jellyfish, and occasionally tiny fish. Their prey can't be too strong or else it'll break free from its arms and swim away. When I mentioned they don't move very much when they find a suitable location in their current, I meant it in a way of picking themselves up and wandering the seafloor. They do move, but not very fast. Their arms, on the other hand, move and wave constantly. This increases the chance of them catching food. I thought I would clarify that before I moved on. They associate themselves with poisonous sponges and sea fans. They will occasionally be eaten by other animals, but it is not very common. Now, I could not find any data from the IUCN Red List on this animal. It wasn't even listed as not evaluated. These animals apparently don't do well in commercial aquariums. They can thrive in large public aquariums. The public aquarium needs to be cautious when dealing with these animals or with handling these animals. Apparently, they can get air bubbles stuck in their mouth if they were taken out of the water. This causes the basket star to float to the top of the encounter. So if you see one in the wild, I would just leave it alone. It won't hurt you, but you might break the arms on the star since it is so fragile. Let's transition into our next segment of the adventure. What was my personal encounter with the basket star? For this photo, I was at the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium in their Pacific Seas exhibit. There was a large round acrylic pane revealing one basket star in the middle of the exhibit. It was difficult to get the photo. My camera was having trouble with the darkness of the tank and the bright light reflected off the basket star. It didn't move very much, but it was still cool to look at. I thought it was a brittle star at first, but then read about it on the monitor. It wasn't until I was doing research that I found out brittle stars and basket stars are related. I know this isn't the most beautiful animal out there, but I want you to learn about creatures you wouldn't typically be drawn to. I know people love the octopuses, the sharks, and whales. These are magnificent creatures, but I want to shine a light on the animals that might be overlooked as well. I hope it causes someone to stop and appreciate the small or less popular animals. As the final details come together on this painting, it is time for our adventure to finish. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, click subscribe and ring the notification bell to be notified when I post new videos. Now, if you're here from previous seasons, you would know that that's where I would say I do my best to post new content every single weekend. That got a little bit difficult, so this season I'm going to take it a little bit slower. I'm going to do new content every other weekend. I just wanted you to know. Okay, so on to October's charity funds. Every October, I give back to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I've had, my family has experienced suicide, and we don't want that to happen to anyone else. So what this charity does is they raise awareness, they do research, they have like facilities to help people get through these mental issues. And so I really want to do my part, give back so that nobody else has to experience that. So if you want to help that way, I would really appreciate it. If you want to help this community so I can continue making content, I sell my art. Okay, so I sell my art as originals. That's going to be $12 a linear inch. And I also sell my art as prints. So I do limited runs and unlimited runs. So your limited runs are going to be $6 a linear inch, and your unlimited ones are $3 a linear inch. If you don't want to do that, I also sell merchandise on teespring.com. I'm trying to figure out Patreon so that if you want to become a patron and help so that I can go on more adventures in the future, I'm going to try and figure that one out as well. I don't know what kind of exclusive perks you're going to get, but I think it's going to be a minimum of $1 just to help. It's my hope that by helping this community, you can help other people go on adventures or find the curiosity to love nature and go out and explore our world safely. Alright, stay positive, Spread curiosity. I've been Brandon, and I will see you in our next adventure.